Welcome back.
Yo, Base, you're
Welcome
on a
back.
streak, baby. There we go. I don't ever trust a hat, though. Thanks, dude. Happy Monday. Are you working today? Yeah, same, dude. My wife is off. We gave my daughter off school today, and so they get to enjoy. Well, they're doing some stuff. I think we're going to be working in what will be the new office. I'm supposed to paint the ceiling, and I'm going to put up a ceiling fan after work today. Okay. I think everything's working. We're good to start. You know, I don't think I brushed my beard this morning. I think I literally got out of bed and just was like, oh crap, we got to stream today. That's why I'm late. We'll roll with it. It'll be fine. I'll just look a little crazy. I think it'll be okay. You guys can understand. Happy Monday, folks. Welcome back to the channel. We've got some game news to talk about. New world may be saved. We'll jump in. I'll actually just repeat that line when we go in. But how's everybody doing this morning? I hope you all had a good weekend. If y'all didn't catch the Metroid stream last night, really good. I think we're getting close to the end of the game. Kind of a quick game without going and exploring every nook and cranny. But that's okay. Not every game needs to be some 60-hour legend. I just was excited for a new Metroid game, and this is scratching that itch for me, so I'm very, very pleased with it. Some people might not enjoy it, but that's okay. Let me see. Oh, dang. My wife just realized the vertical feed on Twitch is nice, so she feels really close to me. Because it's very zoomed in. We can get closer. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. I also had it like zoomed in a little bit, but I could pull it out some. That's as far back as I can pull it. Anyway, welcome. Oh wow, that's funny. Anyway,
Welcome back.
I think you check your phone. Of course, I'm gonna check my phone. I wanted to make sure it wasn't an emergency or something important. Or something wrong, you know? Anyway. Alright, well, let's get started on the game news. We'll put her in news mode and jump into an intro. And all that. We're also going to switch the music. Okay, I actually don't really like this song. It's fine if I'm not paying attention, like if it comes on, but if I hear it, I'm like, skip. Eat Butter, what's up? You live in Canada? I'm so sorry. Or congratulations. I don't know. Reich, Bad Plays, welcome. We're just getting started on the game news. In news mode, I don't fully respond to chat messages, mostly because I'm reading articles, and if they're on topic messages, then I will discuss. But anyway, all right, let's hit the old record button, and then we'll jump to it. Welcome to Monday's Game News. Looks like New World might be saved after learning it'll shut down in 2027. And, you know, we're going to start things off today with a trailer for something. We talked about the leaked Zelda Lego set and how we weren't going to show, like they didn't have anything, no pictures or anything. Literally finished the stream on Friday's Game News, and they put this trailer up. I love this. This set looks so cool. That's so awesome. I love it. I would fully want I fully want this set. I would like all of the Lego sets that are gaming related, but I don't have room nor the finances for that. But this one looks like a good one. The Deku Tree one's cool too. So, you know, whatever. But this looks great. But yeah, we talked about it, and it was like, hey, it might be leaked, and it could come out in March. And then all of a sudden they're like, no trailers or footage. There's just some pictures going around, and we didn't find them. And then the trailer officially drops. I guess Lego or Nintendo were like, oh, I guess we gotta. They know about it now, you know? Anyway. All right, let's jump into our stories with that awesome trailer to kick off the day. Xbox Cloud Gaming ad-supported tier reportedly releasing in 2026. I was wondering when this was coming, but let's see what the article says. A new report discusses the Xbox Cloud Gaming ad-supported tier launching in 2026 and how it will work. For those unaware, a report from last year mentioned a free Xbox Cloud Gaming platform supported by ads, which doesn't require a Game Pass subscription. It seems this tier might be released in 2026, as teaser images of the service have already started surfacing online, suggesting an ad-based playtime model. Ad-supporting xCloud Gaming will let players stream their digitally owned games. So that would be cool, right? It's my own library. For those unaware, an image surfaced last week for Xbox Cloud Gaming which stated 1 hour of ad-supported playtime per session. The messages shown in the image appear to be an error, and a Windows Central report explains how this service will work. So Tom Warren posted this picture over on Twitter. 1 hour of ad-supported playtime. You know, hey, again, why hasn't this been a thing the whole time? The report stated the ads will not apply to all Xbox Cloud Gaming tiers. Instead, they will apply to a separate tier. Players who use Xbox Cloud Gaming with ads will be able to stream Xbox games they purchase digitally, but will not have access to Game Pass titles. Upcoming ad-supported Xbox Cloud Gaming tier will remove the requirement to have purchased at least one tier of Game Pass to access Cloud Gaming titles. Additionally, the exact release date for when the service drops hasn't been revealed. However, Jez Corden has been told it is releasing this year. Maybe we could get an official reveal at the upcoming Developer Direct. That is happening this week, so that is true. The amount of playtime they receive and duration of ads they will have to watch were not revealed. However, the report from last year stated that Microsoft was testing a limit of 1 hour for sessions with up to 5 hours free a month. That's kind of wonky. These details are subject to change when the service officially drops. In other news, Xbox reportedly feature full-bore Windows. Oh yeah, we talked about that before. It's been on our thing. But yeah, so it would make sense. I mean, GeForce Now does this. You can play with ads and really long queue times before actually getting into your game most of the time. and you're limited by like quality. I think it's 720p streaming. The hardware you're streaming off of, whatever like GPU is a low end GPU compared to paid customers. Like all of that seems reasonable if Xbox copies it. I haven't tried Xbox cloud gaming in a while, so I don't know if the quality's gotten much better, but supposedly it has. And if that's the case, then sure. I mean, do the ad-supported tier and give all these people buying TVs that are now Xboxes a way to experience cloud gaming with any games that they own. Like that would make the most sense to me. What's up, Bentley, Brent, and Grim? Good to see you this morning. How are we doing? Happy Monday. Yeah, it just makes sense. That should have been like day one. All right, let's go. Marathon release date trailer has surfaced online. Bungie's release date trailer for Marathon is leaked online, revealing a March 5th, 2026 release. After delays, plagiarism, and its art director leaving just months before the release window, it seems Bungie's finally set on the Marathon release date. As confirmed by Sony back in November 25, Marathon will release this year in March, as the new leaked trailer confirms. Marathon releases on March 5th. So spotted on our gaming leaks and rumors, Marathon's release date trailer is leaked online, revealing new details. The trailer starts like most of their newer videos, blending gameplay and cinematics. Towards the end of the video, we finally get a release date revealed, coming March 5th, 2026. Pre-orders will begin when the trailer is officially dropped, and the deluxe edition will feature a Midnight Decay bundle, 2 weapon skins, and additional content. Leading up to the release, Marathon developers have provided extensive details about the upcoming extraction shooter. We already know about the game's pricing, battle pass details, improvements across the board, and more. Additionally, just last week, we received details on the archetypes, abilities, and customizations you can do with Marathon's runner shells. There's no confirmation yet on when the trailer for the release date will officially drop. So the trailer, I think, was spotted on an Xbox store listing on like the console store, and the trailer went up early. But cool. I guess it's good that it's coming out in spring as opposed to like late this year, because it was supposed to come out in September, and then all the controversy with plagiarism and stuff pushed the game back. Plus the feedback from like the alpha was like, it's fun, but it's not that fun, and it could be better, and all of those things all put together meant it was best that this game get delayed for a while. But it looks to come out before Q1 ends. I think it had to, for budget and financial reasons, so that would make sense. But good to see that they've got a release date and it's not straight up canceled. But it wouldn't have surprised me if they did just cancel the game. But I think Bungie was closer to completion with this than what we thought, even with all the feedback they got. I just think all the controversy definitely delayed the game. Anyway, moving on. All right. Former Assassin's Creed boss is suing Ubisoft for $1.3 million in damages. I thought this was interesting. I don't know where this is going. Former Assassin's Creed boss Mark Alexis Cote, I don't know, has filed a claim with the Superior Court of Quebec for $1.3 million in damages against Ubisoft. The file comes months after Ubisoft announced that Mark Alexis left the company voluntarily, a claim which Cote later denied, stating that he was asked to step aside from the company. In a lengthy LinkedIn post, he said, "Many of you have expressed surprise that I would choose to leave Assassin's Creed after so many years, especially given the passion I still hold for it. The truth is simple. I did not make that choice." He later continued, "But I also owe it to my teams, past and present, to say this plainly. I did not walk away. I stayed at my post until Ubisoft asked me to step aside." The new report from CBC Radio Canada states that he is now taking Ubisoft to court, claiming $1.3 million in severance pay and moral damages. Moral damages? According to the report, he was told during a management meeting in late summer 25 that Ubisoft's new subsidiary with Tencent was looking to find a head of franchise, which was a position not offered to him. Instead, he was offered the position of dead of production, which would have seen him reporting to someone else. The lawsuit states that in September, the position to lead a creative house with abstract outlines was offered. After lengthy negotiations, Ubisoft reportedly asked him to make a decision on the changes, to which Cote formally demanded that the company pay him severance. What's up, Will? Good morning. In response, Ubisoft reportedly told him not to show up for work as planned on October 13th and continue his reflection period until the company responds to its formal notice. The next day, Ubisoft announced via press release and internal emails that Cote was leaving his position voluntarily to explore new opportunities. Yikes. So they basically gave him the runaround, and then they were like, he finally was like, hey, I don't want to do that. What are we doing? Also, where's my money? And they were like, nah, you're done. Wild. I guess we'll see what happens. I don't know. Just thought it was interesting. Ubisoft is always in trouble these days for something. I wish I understood it. How can this company fall so hard on its face? Alright, I thought this was funny. Nintendo once objected to Sonic outrunning Mario in Olympic Games artwork. This is how bold Nintendo is. Nintendo always keeps a careful eye on its branding and the face of its company, Mario, even when collaborating with a partner like Sega. Of course, the relationship between Sega and Nintendo is much different today than it was 30 years ago at the height of the console wars. As many know, Sonic, Sega's mascot, was designed specifically to make Mario seem slow and outdated, so more players would gravitate towards the Sega Genesis home console. However, Sega left the console war in 2001, and in later years appeared alongside Mario in Super Smash Bros. Games, and in their own game where Mario, Sonic, and many of their side characters from their respective franchises participated in Olympic sports. Oh, man. Sorry, guys. Excuse me. It's like I'm not allowed to talk before a certain time or before a certain series of actions happen in the morning. And I can't quite figure out what that is. Anyway, Mario can't appear to be a step behind. Ryoichi Hasegawa, a former Sega producer, worked on the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games franchise. Now he's sharing a fun story that offers insight into how protective Nintendo is of its mascot. He was recently interviewed by Adrian of the Arcade Attack Retro Gaming Network, and during the interview explained that Nintendo was once upset that Sonic's foot was ahead of Mario's in the key art for the Mario and Sonic at the Beijing Olympics video game. So the quote says, "But there was one funny story. There was, of course, artwork of Mario, Sonic, and other characters standing on the field. Those artworks were used for the package and the instruction manual cover and the cartridge label and things like that. Excuse me. There was one small error. Sonic's foot was in front of Mario's foot. Nintendo demanded us to change the priority. I still remember that. We were like, oh my god, we have to change it or there'll be no deal." This was like a rough deal for Sega to get done. They made the game, like they produced the game themselves with Nintendo's blessing and approvals, obviously. But there was a lot of contingencies and things Nintendo demanded. It said Mario will always be one step ahead. There were 6 games featuring Mario and Sonic characters at the Olympics. However, the series has remained dormant since the 2019 release of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020. I wish we could get a picture. But basically, Nintendo did not like Sonic showing up faster, which is weird because, I mean, Sonic's like fast. Like, that's his whole thing. He should be in front. He would always win a race, right? Which is why, like, Sonic competing in the Olympic Games is weird, right? Because he'd be fast anyway. But the Mario and Sonic games tend to be more like Mario Party than Olympic trials or whatever. But I just thought that was funny. That was just super funny. Like, Nintendo being Nintendo. Yeah, even the fast character can't show up ahead of our character because ours makes more money. Yeah. Anyway, all right, moving on. All right, Rust Director. This is our title cover story today. Rust Director offers in quotes $25 million to keep New World Eternum alive. So last week we learned that the official shutdown date for New World Eternum was next year, next January 31st, 2027. And okay, Yep, we recap this in the article. Locking players out of the game they might have loved for a good while. The MMORPG was released in September 21, soaring to epic player counts, but it quickly dwindled, and the ever-marching progress of time saw the game fall out of favor fast. Following the announcement that New World Eternum will be taken offline in 27, an unlikely figure stood up and offered $25 million to keep the game alive because the game should never die. So, on social media, Alistair McFarlane, the director of Rust and COO at Facepunch Studios, said, $25 million final offer Amazon Games, followed by a statement games should never die. The original post was made in response to a Facepunch employee joking that they'd asked Ali to buy a New World for them, but he told them to F off. This line is enough to make users doubt the validity of McFarlane's messages, but who knows? We've seen stranger things. As the comments unfolded, McFarlane explained when asked what Amazon should do for the players. As everything we do at Facepunch, empower the community, give them control, make servers publicly hostable. A game will live forever in the hands of a dedicated community. In October 25, Amazon issued layoffs and ended any more development on New World Eternum, and on January 15, it was revealed that the game would be taken offline forever in 2027. It's been a major point of contention in the gaming space for the longest time. It surfaced most recently and prolifically with Ubisoft's The Crew being pulled offline, a situation that spawned a court case raised by disgruntled fans. For the last few years, the concept of online-only games ending development has been a major debate, with many claiming that games should never ever go offline. I don't know about never ever, but I think there should always be options to host your own server or play an offline build where, especially with MMOs where you can still do the quests and stuff and fight NPCs even if by yourself, and that would make things like raiding and stuff just not work. Just disable that functionality. And New World could do the same thing. The Crew could have done the same thing. Even Anthem, Anthem, there's apparently code out there to keep Anthem running offline or in a single player state. That made it won't see the light of day because of EA and their shenanigans. But this could be interesting, even if it's a joking meme post. It does raise the question: would Amazon sell New World or just hang on to the IP for a second chance later, or sell it off and make a quick return on it and allow somebody to come in and buy the game and keep it going? I don't know. I don't know where Amazon is as far as gaming goes, because it seems like they're just doing everything to not be a games publisher anymore, or they're scaling back so significantly and hedging on the safest of investments, which I feel like a game that is released and has a player base, even if it's small, is better than not having anything on the market at all. If you don't want a game anymore, make it open source, let others make their own version and play it. To some degree, I would agree with that. Making it open source maybe goes a step too far, but at least allow private servers and custom hosting, or allow some kind of server infrastructure to exist for players that still want to play. That, you don't have to offer any maintenance or guarantees or even any security. Just allow people to keep playing. But anyway, I just... in the broader scheme, when something like New World, which is a newer game, dies, you don't have access to it anymore, but you've played it. I mean, think about the people that have invested a lot of time and maybe money into the game. Amazon's best offer is just, oh well, it's over. You have one more year to play your game, and that's it. And that's kind of messed up, especially if you really enjoyed the game. If you connected with it and it's just something you really liked, it's just, oh well, it doesn't exist. Books don't work that way. Neither do movies. And that's other forms of entertainment. So why couldn't we find a way to allow players to just keep playing these games, even in a limited capacity? And agreeing, making it very clear to the players that would keep playing, nothing new is coming out, and, we're not maintaining the server stuff. It's just there if you want to use it. I think that would be a good first step. Anyway, let's move on. Maybe. All right. Footage of ZeniMax's canceled Project Blackbird surfaces online. So this is one of those games that was rumored for a while. It was a big MMO. Apparently it leaked, and we have the X Twitter video here. I don't know what all this entails. I don't know if my channel's gonna get in trouble for showing this. It looks cool. The cyberpunk aesthetic is kind of nice. My audio is glitching? I don't know. Is it me? Anybody else in chat can sound off. Let me know if my audio is acting stupid. Audio's fine? Alright, thanks, Space Group. That's why you're the GOAT! Thanks, guys. Okay, this actually looks cool. Like, why did this get canceled? I wonder if they just couldn't go anywhere with it. I really hope this doesn't end up completely abandoned, because the idea seems kind of neat. Like, this looks like this would be like a very early premise for a trailer. You know, we're just getting like some flybys of what the world could look like. And I don't know, that seems kind of cool. Just another one of Microsoft's canceled games. Project Blackbird was canceled by Microsoft in July 2025 as a part of Microsoft's mass layoffs, which also saw other projects that the publisher canceled. Speaking with sources on Blackbird, the game was targeting a 2028 release date and had amazed Microsoft Gaming executives just months earlier during a presentation. As of the time of writing, Microsoft Gaming still hasn't given a reason why Blackbird was canceled. The game's cancellation led to the layoff of some 300 developers and the departure of studio president Matt Fearer. I just think it's absurd. Like, this was supposed to be like a big new IP, you know, a big opportunity, and then Microsoft was like, nah, it was cool and we really liked it, but pull the plug anyway. I don't know. It's just disappointing to learn. Like, I like seeing some of this behind the scenes stuff. Don't get me wrong. I do enjoy learning more about canceled games and why stuff gets canceled. We just don't know why Microsoft canceled this particular game. It seemed like it was pretty far along in development, and only needed a couple more years to finish up. You know, interesting nonetheless. Cool to see some footage on it. So we actually have some idea of what they were targeting as far as like atmosphere and theme. So that's kind of cool. Still a bummer. Thanks, Microsoft. Microslop. Alright. Armature Studio, founded by Metroid Prime devs, has been shut down. So last week we talked about Meta cutting a bunch of studios and shutting down a bunch of projects and laying off people. Well, it looks like Armature Studio, a development team primarily focused on creating VR titles, has been shut down by Meta. Originally founded in 2008 by ex-Retro Studios developers Mark Pacini, Todd Keller, and Jack Matthews, Armature has primarily worked on ports, starting with the PS Vita version of Metal Gear Solid HD Collection. It soon ventured into the world of VR and was acquired by Meta Platforms in 2022, a company that, at the time, were very keen to put all of its efforts into the metaverse. Now that tech bros around the world are obsessed with AI, Mark Zuckerberg has seen fit to steer away from VR. The result is the closure of 3 key VR studios, the aforementioned Armature Studio, alongside both Twisted Pixel Games and Sanzaru Games. Overall, around 10% of Meta's Reality Labs division has been laid off. Yeah, so I hate reading this kind of stuff because You know, these guys started a studio with a solid vision in place. You know, they had plans to do whatever they had plans to do. And I think, you know, when a company buys your studio only to shut you down because goals and things shift, I would rather it be that the studio ownership reverts back to the original founders or whoever's involved. You know, and if they aren't involved anymore, maybe it reverts to whoever's in charge of those individual studios. Instead of them just disappearing, let the ownership revert to someone involved in the studio itself so that they can either continue work or pick up new work instead of just being completely laid off and, oh well, too bad. Line about tech bros jumping onto the AI trend is something I see a lot. A trend starts, say NFTs, a bunch of people jump on it, it dies off, and they jump on to the next trend. Don't get it. It's all about making money in the short term. It's all about making money in the short term. But that's kind of what's going on here. Meta's like refocusing all of their stuff into AI, and there's a cost associated with that, and they're pulling the plug on a lot of their Oculus and VR segments, which we talked about last week. We're not gonna go back into that, but anyway, let's move on. I also don't know how many more articles I've got. What did I just do? We opened Google Docs. Go away. Come back. Oh gosh, what just happened? Did all of my articles just go? Did we lose internet? What just happened? Opera just crashed. I have no articles. I'm out. Oh gosh. Well, this game news is now scuffed. Crap. I don't know what happened. Opera decided to just completely die. A horrible death. Let's see if I can get it back up for you guys. I don't know if I can restore my tabs. What is this view? This is awkward. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't even know what I had left. I hadn't pulled the links. Alright, well that's it. I guess we're done. I don't have anything else then. Sad ending today. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Peak background. Thanks. Okay, well that's it for the game news. I ran out of stuff to talk about because Opera crashed. Anyway, if you're watching this after the fact, thanks for being here. Sorry for the sudden ending, but technical difficulties seem to have interrupted our program. I will be live again tonight with more Metroid Prime 4, so if you're watching this after the fact, go check out that playlist. And if you're watching this live, I look forward to seeing you there. But that does it for this recorded episode of Game News. Maybe. I might not post this one. Alright, guys. I guess we'll find somebody to raid since we're on Twitch and everything. Grim, good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping in. Alright, we'll turn off news mode and go here to just chatting. What's everybody got going on today? Everybody working? Not working? I know I'm working. I gotta hurry and scoot on to work. I got plenty to follow up on and handle. Who's doing things? Who's doing things this morning? Let's send it to Midwest Dungeon Delvers. I haven't seen him on in a while. He's got Disco Elysium. It says it's mature, so just be careful, I guess, if you don't like that mainly gaming watching stuff. Nice. Wheels off. What a lucky dog. But yeah, we're gonna raid Midwest, and you guys have a great day. Let me find his. There he is. All right. Good deal. Love you guys. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see you tonight for some Metroid Prime 4. We're getting really close to the end. Love ya.